guys? We're here at Lime Rock. Got the paddock all set up. Did a few little extra things on the car to get it ready to go. And yeah, it is Friday morning. We have practice today, qualifying in race 1. I'm currently waiting to get on the dyno because I'm changing the power again on this car. It seems like it happens every event. But basically, I'm running all the engine mods on this car without any restrictor plate, and I'm gonna go full flat power. Basically, sub 200, so I'm gonna target probably 197 wheel horsepower, all the way from 6,000 RPM to red line. It's gonna be about a 45% throttle detune. It's gonna make all the power basically everywhere. A lot of the issues I had earlier this season is like corner exit. The car just didn't have enough grunt.
Talk to me, Jesse. This ain't working, brother.
It's your fuel map. It's got a nasty hole. That's why you're unloading in third.
I told you which third.
I lengthen the injected pulse. Another millisecond, just tune the NOS timer, you'll run 9.
But I think the flat power across the board is gonna help quite a bit. Anyway, I'm excited. This is usually a good track for my car. Last year we qualified on pole. Unfortunately, I had all those electrical gremlins, so I didn't finish any races. But I feel like I really did my homework this weekend. Car should be, I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna say it. The target lap time, I'm gonna say is gonna be like a mid 57. So my best in the sedan was actually a 58.3. Last year, I think pole, I ran like a 58, like 5 or 6 or something. I don't quite remember. But yeah, we should be well into the 57s, I'm expecting. Dyno, do one last final check, and then head out to practice. We got about an hour and a half. That's P1 in practice 1. New personal best lap time here. I was shooting for a 57.9 at least. we got a 57.6. That's flying. A few things to know, right? We tried the new power strategy for this event, so we're going, it was like 196 flat from 6,000 all the way to 8,400. So we're taking the full flat power penalty, which is 1% total. Earlier this season, I had a natural power curve that was negative 1%. So for an extra 2%, we have way more power everywhere, and I think that's worth it. So we kind of took advantage of all the power modifications we did with the engine. So the Skunk 2 intake manifold, the bigger Hybridracing intake, the ZDX throttle body, and the new DC Sports header. And we use that to basically extend the flat power as much as we can. But essentially, we have 198 horsepower at all RPMs, essentially, that we're using this weekend. And then the second thing to note is that was a Falken RT 660 pluses. So I wasn't fully convinced that they were the way to go at Mid-Ohio, but there was a lot of other factors in play. I think the 285 on the 10.5 was too wide of a tire for that wheel width. So we're now running a 255 on the same 10.5 wheel, and it feels significantly better. And you can tell by the lap time, 57.6 P1 overall. Pretty damn good. So I'm happy about that. We're gonna check the car over real quick. This is a very aggressive track for the car, so making sure everything's good, making sure the left side of the car isn't rubbing anywhere, because that uphill and the downhill, it's a big compression. And then also, we're just fixing a radio issue. So I got David Cordell here from Hybridracing. Oh, got my boy Roy, there he is. And then my whole family's here, sister, mom, dad. So it's gonna be a good weekend. The crew's here, so they're gonna be on the comms, and we had a slight issue where I couldn't talk back to them, so we got that fixed. And then get it ready for qualifying. So, oh yeah, and I also just released brand new t-shirt. I got all the stats of the car in Japanese. It's pretty sick. Good weekend. Let's do a little bit more work on the car and then get it ready for qualifying. So I have an ABS fault. I'm not planning on running ABS this weekend. But I still want to make sure, if I do want to run ABS, I want to make sure it works. But I had a fault, and I think it's because the new knuckles on the front. We're going to ground the SCS, and then I have my DC cluster here. I have the zip tied to the bar, but this will let me know what the code is. So ABS on, and then it's going to blink. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. So code 14, let's take a look and see what that is. Code 14, it is front left wheel speed sensor. So yeah, I put the new knuckles on the car this weekend, so the sensor was pretty far from the tone ring of the axle. So yeah, I already fixed that. We're gonna clear the code real quick. So car on, ABS on, hold the brake, release, hold the brake, release, hold the brake, and clear. So now if I turn this off, disconnect the SCS, turn the ABS back on, we should be good to go. Boom, code cleared.
Grid Life Circuit Legends in year number 4 at Lime Rock Park in Lakeville, Connecticut is on its first day of 2, August 15th to 17th in 2025. And the drivers are on track for the first day of action. Up next, IBOC Grid Life Touring Cup qualifying. Kyle Heyer joined in the booth by Ito Waxman. Ito, welcome back.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see this GLTC qualifying here today. We've got a lot of heavy hitters here lined up for this qualifying, and this qualifying is going to matter a lot. This is a track that's a little bit hard to pass on, so every grid position is going to matter a lot here. So
really interesting times, including a new track record that is now held by Eric Catil, defeating Tom O'Gorman's time from a couple of years ago. So the lap and the track was quick. Road America, we saw Matan Rosenberg be dominant there, 3 wins and a 4th. Eric Catil was absent for that event, didn't plan on going originally, and followed up with that. But he's back here this weekend. 320 points on the season to Eric Catil's 290. So there's still a pretty comfortable margin there for Rosenberg, but Catil is so good here, and he's really heading to a couple tracks, this track, and then of course Autobahn Country Club up next, that are really favorable for the lightweight cars. And we saw in practice only 10 of the top 10 drivers, only one was a V8 car, and that was Matan Rosenberg.
Yeah, this is kind of a make or break event for Eric. He's gonna he's got to find a way to get the majority of wins here this weekend so he can really claw back those points to Matan.
As far as average finish is concerned, Catil has everyone beat. He's started 16 races. He's won 3 of them, 12 podiums, 16 top 5s. He's finished top 5 in every single race he's entered. It's a tall order to follow up, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Eric Catil is one of, if not the most consistent driver we have here. And even in the reverse grid order races that we do on the 4th race of the weekends, he's been really, really good at carving through the field and getting back up there. A little bit better, I think, than Matan has been, and that's been really advantageous to him. So we'll see if he can have some top step podiums here this weekend and kind of make his way back into that fight with Matan for the lead in the championship.
So Andy Smedegaard went off the end of the racetrack at turn 1, but he is the quickest on the road at the moment, 58.159. Catil second, and Waldbaum, Barbado, Lichty the rest of your top 5.
Oh, Paul Darling to the top.
Wow.
A 58.137. That's a great lap for Paul. Really happy to see that for sure.
And he'll be firing back up again to see what he can run this time around.
Let's see what he can do. He's right behind a car now. Moves up a 58.306, so he moves up into 4th place with that time. So that's good for him as we see a car slightly too off at the last turn.
I'm just like, whoa, what is he doing?
Smedegaard retakes the lead from Darling by half a second, a 57.692. That's almost half a second faster than Paul. That's a really, really impressive time from Andy Smedegaard.
Yeah, we've been in the 57.6s all day long with Paul Darling and Eric Catil, but now Smedegaard joins the 57.6 club here at Lime Rock. Really, really impressed.
While we were talking, Matan Rosenberg made his way back up into the top 5, so he's now 5th, about a couple spots back from Catil in 3rd. So again, our championship leaders right next to each other, Magnussen in 10th. So all our championship, the top 3 are in the top 10.
And look at the gap from 1st to 10th, or I guess really 2nd to 10th, 58.1 to a 58.8. There's 9 cars in that spread.
Yeah.
How close, I know this track isn't very big, but just how close are they? That's really impressive.
35 cars, very tight field. I think it's better. It's going to be a better race as Paul Darling goes a little bit faster, 58.007. So he kind of cements his 2nd place a little bit more.
The way things shook out with Andy Smedegaard being really impressive there. 57.692 goes to the top. Then Paul Darling, Eric Catil, Barbado, Lichty, Waldbaum, Rosenberg, Scott, Tab, and Magnussen at your top 10. And looking down the rest of the order here.
All right, I got good news and I got bad news. Good news is I qualified P3. Not as good as practice. I was 1st in practice, but the qualifying conditions were definitely not as good. It was definitely way more slick. Maybe that magic heat style with the Falken is true, I don't know, but I slowed down about 4/10. And it was all kind of in the middle section of the track, these slow right, left, rights. Everywhere else, the car felt pretty good. I did almost crash like 3 times, which is kind of scary. I got sideways in turn 1, and then I had a huge moment in the last corner of the track. Kind of similar to what I had here a few years ago in the first time I was here with the Sedan. Let's not do that again. The bad news is I don't think my audio is recording during those first 2 sessions. So you probably already have seen the videos. There was no engine audio, so maybe I'll insert my own sounds. I don't know. We're going out for race 1, starting P3. Minor changes. We increased the rear end a little bit just to give it a little bit more rake, just because I'm trying to make it a little bit looser in the slow speed stuff. And the high speed stuff, the car felt great. So no real changes there. Everything else on the car looks great. No major issues. The shirts have been doing really well, so that's awesome. Thanks for the support. We're gonna go out with the Falcons, see how they do in a long session. I mean, I was out there in qualifying for a while, so they felt pretty good. The conditions were just greasy, and I think everyone kind of struggled. The championship contenders, Maton Rosenberg, I think he was 8th. And then Eric Magnussen in the BMW, he was 10th. So let's try to get a few wins, and hopefully, honestly, if we finish this race, I'll be happy, because last year I didn't finish 1. So about to get suited up, get ready to go, make sure the GoPro's recording audio. Try to go win some races, baby. Let's do it.
Radio check, check, check. Yeah, I got you too. Dude, I got the best wiring guy in the business. All right, fellas. Race number 1. Like I said, if we finish this race, that's a huge positive compared to last year. If we get a podium, hell yeah. If we get a win, F yeah. 1 minute here. Running no ABS, Falken tires. A little bit different than what I'm used to, but it felt pretty good in practice. Qualifying, I was a bit all over the place. I think it was mostly driver making a lot of stupid mistakes. But yeah, we're gonna put my head down for this race. Gonna keep it clean. Gonna try to keep up with these 2 guys in front of me. It's been a while since I've seen Andy Smedgaard on pole. He's a killer driver, but he's kind of been he's been driving some oddball machines. So he's in an FRS with the newer GT86 FA25, and it looks like it's working pretty well. Paul Darling, he's a wheel man. He's in this E46 right in front of me. He is one of the best iRacers I've ever raced with. He's really good on the sim, and obviously that translates really well to the track. So let's see how he does. And then right behind me, we got none other than the local boy, Nick Barbado. He's super fast. Very good driver, very respectable. So, and then my boy Aaron Lichty in his C8 Corvette in 5th place right behind me on the starting grid. So this is going to be awesome. I'm excited, guys. Get these tires warmed up. Where are you at? You guys on this hill right here? Bro, Aaron's Corvette looks crazy in my rearview mirror. Hey, after this race, I'm gonna want to put some grip tape on the floor because my heel's kind of slipping.
So, time to go racing in Eibach GLTC. Lights are out on the pace car, and next time by, we're going green for 12 to 15 minutes at one of America's most historic road courses, built in 1957. It's seen decades and decades of racing from all sorts of different racing series, and in 2022, we brought Eibach GLTC here for the first time. We had a 60-car field here last year, trimming the things down a little bit this season, but the quality of the field is unmatched. To the start line, Andy Smedgaard, Paul Darling at the front, green flag, and we're underway at Gridline Circuit Legends in Eibach GLTC. Look at Aaron Lichty, 3 wide to the inside of Catil, and the V8 Corvette powering between the front runners there and sneaks past Catil. There's still 3 wide there with Waldbaum on the outside.
Yeah, and Andy had a good start, and Catil was following him. He had a nose on Paul, but then Andy seemed to have slowed up midway through the front straightaway, and it kind of brought everybody back in.
Up at the front, I think Andy was able to sneak away while really Lichty kind of upset the apple cart there a little bit, huh?
Yeah, and Paul Darling has managed to stay in 2nd place. He managed to make his way behind Andy for turns 3 and 4, so he got to keep his position. Barbado was right behind him in 3rd, and then he's followed by Waldbaum due to Catil kind of getting held up by Andy down the back straightaway before turn 1.
Coming across the line here. 1.7 seconds. That definitely held up Darling a little bit, but Eric Cattill's not going to be stoked about that. He really wanted a better start than that.
Magnussen has gotten ahead of Matan. Magnussen started in 10th and ended up in 7th in that mess. Matan ended up in 9th, so right now Coutill in 6th, Magnussen in 7th, and Matan in 9th.
Yeah, and this is going to shake up the championship a little bit. We talked about how Matan Rosenberg leads by 30 points in the season title over Eric Cattill, that it's only 5 back to Eric Magnussen. So I think Cattill's really watching that 330 BMW. But remember, the next couple of rounds actually benefit Eric Cattill, but he has to take advantage of it. And getting swarmed on the start by Lichty is not going to help his race efforts here. And with how close everyone is and how hard it is to pass, it really matters how you start these races.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really, you know, I didn't expect that kind of move from Aaron Lichty. He normally doesn't take a risky move like that, making it 3 wide into turn 1. And it kind of really to the detriment of everybody past the top 3. So we'll see. Coutill looked like he's showing his nose on Lichty heading to turn 1. Let's see if he can complete that pass.
Yeah, Lichty
still on the inside.
Yeah, and Coutill on the curb there.
Yep.
Big hop and a skip as he tries to take the outside line now through turn 3.
If he can stay with him, he could get the inside into 4. Yep, still has overlap. Great move from Coutill, and he takes that spot away from Lichty. And now Magnussen's going to try and get by as well.
Ooh, dropped a tire in the dirt on driver's right. And that was a little dicey there for Lichty. Had to jump out of the throttle there in the marbles. It cost him a lot of time. It's going to help Coutill, though, into the uphill.
Yeah, you don't want to be side by side into the uphill. You can see Coutill just made a huge gap on him because they're fighting up the uphill in one of the most technical parts of the track. They're losing ground to Coutill as a result of that.
Yeah, that was what Coutill really needed, and he's got that wall bomb's big slide through turn 7. He was off the apex there by a couple feet. Gathered it up. He'll stay straight, though. Andy leads 1.8 back to Darling. Then Barbado 3rd, Waldbaum 4th, and now Coutill P5.
Yeah, great job from Eric. Now he can go and chase the top 3. He's got the pace over them, so let's see if he can open that up. And maybe Lichty's going to hold back Magnussen and Rosenberg a little bit to Coutill's advantage.
One of the more experienced drivers here.
Catching Andy. Andy's got a problem.
Trouble for the race leader. Here comes Paul Darling around the outside, and watch the championship points here as well. It's going to shift and shuffle here with the positions changing, but Andy Smedegard does have a problem. He's off pace, and Paul Darling takes the lead.
Paul Darling and also Barbado getting through. Let's see if Andy can reset the car a little bit to see if he can make that issue go away. This is great to see, though. I'm sure both Paul and Barbado were happy to see that. They didn't really have to fight him at all. He looks like he's up to a pace is Andy, so we'll see if he comes up to a pace. Maybe it's something that's only affecting him on the very top end of the speed range. right back up to pace, and now he's kind of holding up Walbaum and Coutil behind him. You can kind of see Lichty's kind of catching that train back up. So we'll see if Walbaum and Coutil can get past Andy. I'm sure Coutil would love to lead those. Every single position he makes up in this race is position important for his championship. So he's going to be pushing hard to get past those two. Tab and Rosenberg behind.
Here you go. Coutil up the inside at turn 1, opens the door. Walbaum left him the opportunity to stick the nose in, but didn't take it. Now he's going to track to the inside of Big Bench here, sliding on the curbs with the rub blocks there, and he's going to go the long way around at turn 3.
This is the move he loves to make. This is the move he made on Lichty. If he can keep overlap through 3, here he goes. He has the inside of 4, and he can take that position. Great move.
A big slide, and it'll leave him vulnerable. Here comes Aaron Lichty to stick the nose in. Tried to go right. Walbaum blocked it off, by the way. Coutil here, now that he's got this spot, I think it's going to count it here. There it is. There's the extra point. 306 now. Just chipping away at Maton Rosenberg in this championship fight. So,
and then there's a big jump between 4th and 3rd in terms of points. So that's going to be really advantageous to him if he can get past Andy Smedgard for that last podium position.
Yeah, this is going to be a big deal here, but he's going to run out of time, I think, pretty shortly. So no white flag displayed just yet, but he's got to get aggressive and get by Andy in this 2-1-2 Scion FRS.
Yeah, great battle to watch. Eric carving through the field after he got balked on that start, but he's recovered well, and he's left his championship leaders in the dust. So this is a great drive from Eric here. This is what he needs to win the championship, or to at least gain points over his rival to the championship.
Andy just a hair better, best lap of the race, as you see with the purple white there. So he is the fastest car, or was the fastest car on the racetrack at one point. Is that old big slide for Coutil? Leading 7, he gathered it up, but was way sideways. But he gathered it up, but was way sideways all over the back of Andy Smedgard here. And again, chasing down the 2-1-2 here into the first corner.
On the outside, let's see if he's going to try and under him. There's still no white flag, so he's got at least one more lap after this one, staying nice and tied up to him. I think he's probably going to tuck in behind him unless Andy makes a big mistake and try again into turn 1 on the next lap.
This is really, really tight stuff. You know, Eric is driving so hard, knowing that Rosenberg is tied up way deep in the rearview mirror. He's got to take advantage. He's in this for the championship, not just the individual race bragging rights. And Andy's here, again, trying to prove the point. You know, this is a non-K Series or non-V8 car. I don't think we've had one of those win a race yet this season. Maybe Barbados, because he has a 52, yeah. So maybe that's the one exception there. But Andy would like to add to that list.
Svedgaard heading into West Bend from the uphill now. I think our leaders have cleared the path behind them, so I don't think it affected between Darling and Barbados, I don't think it affected them very much. Same with Teal and Svedgaard, which is great to see.
White flag, last lap of the race. Ooh. And here comes Eric Catil and Andy Svedgaard into traffic. It'll be the final lap between these two. Final lap for the race leader. Catil's to the inside of Andy. Down into the first corner here. And is Catil going to enter the way? Not quite. They have to go around the outside of Lisa Keys here. That'll be frustrating for Catil, but what can he do?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we haven't seen lap traffic play a big part in races until here, and it makes sense. This is our shortest track here on the calendar. Yeah, unfortunate for Eric. He just got it timed badly, but again, he's still gaining spots on his championship rivals.
Yeah, up into turn 5 now, the uphill for the final time. Paul Darling, by the way, is going to be coming down the hill here in just a moment's time. And Paul Darling has never won a race in IBOT GLTC. Last year was robbed of it with a mechanical failure, but today he's going to undo the disaster of 2024. Paul Darling wins in IBOT GLTC. Race 1 at Circuit Legends goes to Paul Darling. Then Barbados, second place. And Andy Svedgaard is just going to hang on to third place over Catil by a car length.
Yeah, and here comes Walbaum, hangs on to 5th, Lichty in 6th.
Dude, Aaron really fucked me at the beginning. That kind of sucked. That was so dumb. I was like way too easy and I let him in, which, I threw that one away, boys. That's all my fault. Man, that was rough. I was way too cautious. Damn.
Sorry, hopefully I lost ABS and my TC gauges.
Yeah.
I have a reset button, which will turn power off as soon as I let go. It'll turn ABS back on, and I can't turn it off until I'm like stopped.
Oh, God.
So I did the whole race with my button on the reset, one-handed. Oh my God, that was.
Yeah, you had no brake lights. It was weird.
No brake. Oh yeah, because the ABS.
Yeah.
Yeah, it needs that brake pressure.
I was like, damn, he's not braking in any of these corners. This guy's an
It needs
animal.
brake pressure. Yeah.
Dude, I was like, I'm gonna be cautious. I'm gonna take it easy. Then Aaron like basically went almost in the grass, and I was like, bro, you fucked me. Huh? Yeah. Ugh.
Green flag, and we're underway at Gridline Circuit Legends and IBOT GLTC. Look at Aaron Lichty, 3 wide to the inside of Catil, and the V8 Corvette powering between the front runners there and sneaks past Catil. There's still 3 wide there with Walbaum on the outside.
Yeah, Andy had a good start, and Catil was following him. He had a nose on Paul, but then Andy seemed to have slowed up.
I just sat there, I'm like, I can back.
Man, they must have captured that.
Damn.
No discounts for racing, huh?
Headlights working and everything.
They should be paying you.
They're signing autographs to get paid for you.
I'm just selling shirts. I'm still getting shirts.
What happened to him? He used to be somebody I could trust. I woke up. Why don't you? You're an asset. An expendable asset. And I used you to get the job done. Got it?